Okay, we're going to do a series with the knees. So session 1 is about getting the knees more bent and straight, so getting them more functional. So when you've had knee surgery or you've had an injury, you will have compensated and you will have rested it and had it in its straight position. So first of all, we want to try to get it to come as straight as we can. So the first thing is we have to have the relation of the pelvis and the spine and the legs correct. So my pelvis, if I put my hands under my bottom, I can feel the bony bits into my hands. If I slump back on my tailbone, those bony bits go forwards. If I come up vertical, and then if I roll forward, the bony bits go through my fingers. So where the bony bits are pushing hardest into my hands, that's where my pelvis is vertical. So the top of my hip bone here is directly above my middle bottom, or my pubic bone is in the same plane as the bony bit on the front of my hip. So my pelvis needs to be in neutral, and then my spine needs to be vertical. So a lot of you will find this quite difficult to sit in this position in the first place. But everything to do with the leg needs to be with that pelvis in its neutral position. So if that means putting your hands on the floor to support yourself, or putting your back against the wall or a sofa, then so be it. So the first thing we're going to work on is straightening the leg. So I've got a towel rolled up here, and I'm going to put my ankle on the towel. So sitting myself up tall, I'm going to pull the back of my knee down towards the floor and release. Down towards the floor and release. Down towards the floor and release. 3, release. 4, release. 5, release. Keep going. Now, if you can't get your knee straight, it will give way later on in your life. So you need to be able to have it, you need to be able to straighten it fully, because you need that for walking, running, and standing. If you're cycling and you can't straighten your leg as well on one side as the other, you will tilt your pelvis while you ride the bike, and then you will end up with a sore lower back. So I pull the knee down, release, down, release, down, release. If I want to really stretch it, I can keep my left hand on the floor, put my right hand and push down on that knee, down on that knee, down on that knee, down on that knee, and then I can get the muscles working again. Push it down, release, push it down, release, push it down, release. When I feel that I'm getting that nice and low, you'll see that my right knee, if I put my left foot on there too, you'll see my left knee straightens more than my right knee, because I had an injury on this knee when I was 10 and probably didn't rehab it completely good enough. Okay, take the left knee away. Now take that towel away. Now I'm going to put a ball. Now this is a soft ball. You can use a tennis ball, but for the moment, use a soft ball under that leg. So get the pelvis up, get myself nice and tall. And I'm going to pull my knee into the floor, into the ball, rather than my foot up. So as I push my knee down, my foot lifts, release. Push the knee down, foot lifts, release. Push the knee down, the foot release, lifts and release. Push the knee down. Now, if I haven't done it with my foot raised first, I won't be able to straighten this here completely. So I want to really get that leg straight. Down and release. Down and release. Down and release. Down and release. So once you're quite good at this, what do? You can put an ankle weight on. But all the time you need to be sitting in neutral. You need to have your knee in line with your hip and your foot in line with your knee. Your foot needs to be vertical. Your kneecap pointing straight up to the sky. Don't let the knee roll in, don't let the knee roll out. Kneecap up to the sky, foot vertical, lift, lower. Push the knee down, lift, lower. Push the knee down, lift, lower. And then move that away. So stage 2 with your knee straightening is standing up. Take a band Put your knee inside the band and you're going to come back so you have a bit of tension. Feet are parallel, feet are under the knees are under the hips. Clench the bum, so we turn those knees outwards so that their thighs are rotating out. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, back and down, draw in the core, engage the tummy muscles. So you're in your neutral spine position, small arch in the lower back, engage core, rib cage open. If you want to know more about the posture up here, we can work on that in another time, but that is crucial to good knee stability. So feet are parallel. Let that the injured leg bend, straighten, bend, straighten, bend, straighten, bend, straighten, bend, straighten, weight bear. Engage the glutes, push into the hip flexor, rotate this thigh out as if you're turning a screwdriver outward. So the thigh is going out. Pulling the thigh out, stand on the right leg, lift the left heel and lower. Bend the knee, straighten the knee, lift the left heel, put it down. Bend the knee, straighten the knee, lift the left heel. Put it down. Bend the knee, straighten the knee, lift the left heel, lift the left foot. Keeping yourself strong, shoulders back, chest up, core engaged, glutes are engaged, pushing into the hip flexor. Put that foot down. Now you might need to use a stick to start with to keep your balance. So engaging the glutes. Turn sideways onto the band, or we can start without the band. So standing on the floor here, rest your fingers on here, lift that heel up so the toes are on the floor, pull the knee out, in, keep that pelvis still, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Take that leg backwards, taking the thigh back, thigh back, thigh back, thigh back, thigh back, thigh back, back, back. Bring the feet together, rotate around, like you're doing a semicircle on the floor with your foot. Out and back, out, back, out, back. You should feel it here in your bum, engaging the bum. Out, pull it back, out, pull it back, out, hold it there, pulse it back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it round, open, 2, open, 3, open, 4, open, 5, open. Feet together, take it out, pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back. Leave it. Okay, so then we can do that with a band. Stand in the band, standing up tall. Take that leg out and back, semicircle, out, back, out, back, out, back, out, back, out, back. Hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it together. So you'll feel it in this side for the standing, and you feel it in this side for the active. Take that leg out, back, out, back, out, back. 4, back, 5, back, out. Pulse it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put the foot down. Okay, so then when you're standing on that leg, if I'm standing to you, I pull those thighs out. I stand on this right leg. Put that foot down. Pull that knee out. Stand on that right leg. Pushing into the hip flexors here. Using the glutes. Using the stick if I want. Supporting and stabilizing. So now I can do more of my knee straightening. So I turn the feet are parallel, turn the knees out, draw the core in, raise up, pull the knee back and in, back and in, back and in, back, lift the inside leg up, put it down, lift it up, put it down, lift it up, put it down, lift it up, put it down. Okay, progressing from this, pulling into the band, I can squat back a bit, push up and push the hips forward. I can squat the bum back a bit. I clench and push the hips forward. I drop the bum back a bit. I clench and lift forward. I drop the bum back. I clench and lift forward. Drop the bum back, clench and lift forward. Then I can stand on one leg. I can support myself to start with. Drop back, lift up. Drop back, lift up. Drop back, lift up. Drop back, lift up. So the knee stays above the foot in that vertical line. And when I'm doing this way, the knee stays above the foot here. And I lift. Out, lift. I'm not letting my hips swing like that. I'm not letting my knee roll in. I keep myself aligned, back and up. When I start to do things like on a step, I put the foot on the step, the knee is in line with this. So look at the stick, the knee is above the ankle and the hip and the shoulder. So I can bend forwards, stand on that leg, stand up, down, up, staying in a line here, down, up, down. Also, my hips here are parallel. This hip and this hip are the same height off the floor. Stand, down, stand, down. So I'm not doing this with my hips. If I'm sideways on, my bum is back, knees above the foot, stand, bum back, stand, bum back, stand, bum back, stand, bum back. Okay, so it's really important that the shoulders are back and down, spine straight, hips are parallel, knees are parallel, knee, foot, knee, hip is in a line, foot, knee, hip, shoulder are in a line. As I go back, I stay square as I come up. So there's a lot of talk with squats that you have your toes turned out slightly. Now you have your toes turned out slightly if you aren't engaging your bum. So if you've got your feet parallel, hey, off, go on there. If you have your feet parallel, you pull those knees apart, then your hip bone. So your hip bone has a socket and the ball sits in the socket. And the socket, the ball has to swing like a pendulum in that socket. If it turns in, the ball is doing that in the socket and wearing it out. If my knee is moving around while I'm walking, my ball is doing that in the socket. So I have to engage my glutes, which turns my thighs out, seams of my trousers comes forward, but the center of my leg is pointing forward. Clench with my bum, hold open my chest, stand up tall. So when I go back, my feet are still pointing to the camera, my knees are pointing straight to you and my shoulders are, and I stand. Now, if I have my toes turned out, while I go back, there's a twist at the knee joint. So my thigh might be, or the top of my thigh bone is right in the socket, but the knee is pulled out. Knees have to be in, clench and stand. Bum back, bum forward, bum back, bum forward. Standing on one leg, bum back, bum forward, bum back, bum forward.